So you got P. Diddy and all his craziness. Now I said this before though. Why would TD Jakes be at a P. Diddy party when you understand? Let's take away the freak offs. Let's even take that away, you guys, okay? Ain't no freak offs going on. Let's not even talk about that, right? If you are a not just a Christian, you are a bishop. And you are a representative of the Christian community. You are a leader that people follow. Not only, let's be clear about bishops. Not only are you the person leading the congregation, you are a leader of other pastors. See, when you're a bishop, pastors come underneath you. Ministers come underneath that. So when you're a bishop, you're not only over the people, you're over all of the other pastors. Okay? So I was in church and there was many times that I had problems with some of the pastors because the first thing that will be said in the church when the young people come in and they're trying to sing, y'all know they'll be in church and they want to take a worldly song. That's what they'll say. You got this worldly music in the church house, and they'll take the worldly song and turn it into a Jesus song, or they want to rap to Jesus, or they want to do things like that. And they'll be looking at the youth like that's not of the Lord. We're not going to take music that was made to praise the devil and turn it around and use it to praise the Lord. Y'all know they say that in the church, do they not?
Yes, they do. And that's why a lot of people avoid the church, because of the hypocrisy. And there's a lot with Christianity that doesn't remain the same. She's absolutely right. I remember growing up in the church, couldn't listen to secular music. Whether in your home, outside your home, they didn't want you to listen to it at all. You would come to church and you had, in the choir, you would have the young people saying, go, go. That was kind of popular back in the day. They didn't want you doing that. They didn't want you adjusting secular music to gospel music. But then a lot of that began to change decades ago. And slowly but surely, you had rap music and secular music blending into gospel music. So you have the Kirk Franklins of the world. So she's absolutely right. Females couldn't wear pants in the church. You couldn't dress a certain way. Females weren't allowed to have more than one earring in each ear. There were a lot of rules with being a Christian, and a lot of these rules don't apply today. And you still have your churches that push for people to avoid secular music and avoid allowing that type of entertainment to become part of your life. But she's absolutely correct when the whole viewpoint was for the church to guide people away from worldly things.
So y'all don't even want people listening to certain kind of music in the car. You don't even want them listening to the music in the car. They send it, turn this down, put on nothing but gospel music.
She's spitting nothing but facts. Because many of us are aware of the pastors out here that get in front of the masses and try to lead people into lives that they're not even really living themselves. And behind closed doors, it's a lot that they're doing that they're condemning their congregation for.
Why is it okay for him to go and show up at this man's party and be somebody that's invited? Let me tell you something. If you was doing stuff that you weren't supposed to be doing, and it was drugs at your party, it's half naked women walking around, y'all doing ungodly stuff, you shouldn't want to invite your pastor to that. You should feel uncomfortable if pastor walked in and seen all of that going on, and it should make you feel some type of way. Come on, before I was a pastor, I was a member at a church. There were things that you didn't want when you was younger, you would have never invited pastor to. I'm not having pastor come over here. It would have ruined the mood for everybody. Pastor would have walked in, and if they had any respect for the man or the woman of God that you are, everybody would have been like, damn, I can't smoke my blunt. Let me turn the music down. When pastor leaving? You know what I'm saying? This is embarrassing. Nobody wants their pastor at their party with a bunch of rappers and liquor and drugs and all that music going on. Y'all gonna stop playing with me, because this situation is not that complicated. It's very common sense if you break it down to his last compound. Why would he be there? Remove all of the rumors. Remove all of it. Why is TD Jakes feeling so comfortable, and why does Diddy feel so comfortable inviting him to an environment like that?
Now, based on everything she just said, I'm going to prove to you how correct she is. Now, I would prove it with my commentary, but I'm going to let y'all hear this from someone that was close to Diddy. All I ever did was listen to his music. So my commentary isn't going to hold as much weight as this individual right here.
I think that he's going to the Diddy parties, maybe he needs to see it for himself, man. Maybe he needs to go there and really be involved in some things that could help save some individuals while they going to those parties. Or maybe he just going to, man, it's hard to even talk about. Why would you find a religious man, when you know that the saints supposed to separate themselves from the sinners? And why would a religious man like himself be at a party which ain't nothing but sin that's going on, bro? Whether it's drinking, maybe fornicating, maybe, like I said, men on men, women on women. It's hard to put in perspective unless he's involving himself what is actually going on at the parties. As a spiritual advisor to him, that they buddy while he got a party with him like that and be at his parties. It's got to be, maybe it's something more that meets the eye. When I grew up in the church, the sinners was not supposed to have the same atmosphere with the saints. You have to be able to separate the two. So I'm looking at him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin. Drinking, maybe fornication, man on man, woman on woman, he on she. But maybe he there to lay some hands on somebody. Maybe he there to save some souls. I know he got a contract with Revolt, so I'm just like, it's just real strange that he would be found at any kind of Diddy party or any kind of place with Diddy unless it's in a business atmosphere. So now what he's doing is he's making the Christians look real bad right about now.
Y'all either are Christians or you have family members who are Christian and in church. Y'all all know what I'm talking about. So that right there just don't sit well with me at all.
Well, to be quite honest, you're not alone. And I think a lot of people logged on to watch Bishop Jake's sermon. And I think a lot of people showed up to the sanctuary to gauge where TD Jakes is at, not just spiritually, but also psychologically, because he looked like a nervous wreck throughout that whole service. We have to remember, he said he didn't want to use the sacred pulpit to address what he ended up addressing anyway. Had the audacity to tell people to log off. He tried to make his congregation feel bad, saying stuff like, oh, they're coming after me, they're trying to kill me. And I'm just pretty much paraphrasing here. But he basically said to his congregation, they're coming after me, they're trying to kill me, but I'm here trying to save your lives. The nerve of this pompous idiot. Anyway, he also scolded the young folks. Let's not forget, he put accountability on the young people, saying they shouldn't be having these immature conversations about his allegations, calling the discussions immature and that only young people are having these discussions. Well, I found a couple of adults that I presented in this video, Bishop Jakes. Are you going to say that the two individuals I have in this video are children? Do you consider these two individuals as young folk? You know, demeanor is everything. Conduct is everything. And the way your actions follow your words matter. He was a nervous wreck. Let's just call it the way it is. He's unhinged, and he presented himself as unhinged during that service. I mean, he blatantly lied. He started off telling the congregation pretty much where they can go, what he wasn't going to address it during the service, and almost use, people can argue he used the whole service to address it. That even within the sermon, he was taking shots at addressing the issue. Let's not forget, he deleted a lot of that content from that sermon. So if you're not guilty, why would you delete any part of the sermon? Any part of a religious sermon? And it's not just any religious sermon. It was a Christian sermon. And you know how Christians boast about their religion. Why would he do that? I guess for the same reason he violated the sacred pulpit to address the issue when he stated that he intended not to do so. So in my opinion, and it's not just my opinion, it's the opinion of a lot of people. Nevertheless, the opinion is he's unhinged, he's feeling the heat. And when you're feeling the heat, you're generally not knowing which way to go. And that's why he started the service off not wanting to address the issue. But you know how it is when it's burning up inside you and you just have to try to clear the air because you don't know what people is thinking up in here. So before I end this video, I just want to say that both of the individuals I presented in this video are absolutely correct. Puff Daddy should have been ashamed to invite his mentor, his pastor, to a party that P. Diddy knows himself includes certain things. Likewise, T.D. Jakes as a bishop should have known better than to place himself within that environment. This isn't rocket science. We know how these pastors lead their congregations. We know how ministers, reverends, deacons, we know how they all talk, elders. We know how they present themselves in church, outside of church, at work. We know how they present themselves to people. Based on the way we know Christian churches are conducted, are ran, are operated, we already know what they stand for. And it's just hard for Bishop Jakes to really explain why he's in the company of certain people and at certain events. I think it's quite ironic that you don't see Bishop T.D. Jakes running to the defense of Puff Daddy, and you definitely don't see Diddy running to support his mentor, his favorite bishop, T.D. Jakes. Now, I know a lot of y'all love Bishop T.D. Jakes, have listened to a lot of his sermons, have been led by him. So I hope this doesn't sting. I think it should be more informative. I think it should open your eyes up to who you call your leaders. Just let it be an eye-opener for you. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that pose to be of a certain character, and they're not. And they hide behind the guise of their religion, their supposed God. You know, you have a lot of people that do these things and blindly lead people into lives. And it's a lot of people that have died being misled. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people take stuff like this to heart. I know a person like me, I take stuff like this to heart because I've grown up in an environment, in a Christian environment, where you were easily misled. You were told not to question things. You got your butt kicked for doing things that they themselves did, claiming they were saved. So, you know, it's a lot that really plays into this particular situation and this topic. So if y'all all right with y'all elder, y'all bishop, y'all pastor attending events, parties, doing things that they don't want y'all to do, cool. I mean, I don't try to stop people from living the life they want to live. I just try to help them become aware of certain things. And if they want to discuss certain options, we can discuss those and you can select the best option. I'm not trying to force people to believe anything. I'm not trying to force people to think a certain way. And to be quite honest, if T.D. Jakes wasn't a pastor getting up in front of the masses, preaching the gospel, a lot of this wouldn't weigh as heavy on him as it currently is. Now, when you put yourself in the position of leadership in that way, there's an extra layer of accountability, or layers, because there's a lot of people that TD Jakes comes across, which means that the way people view him and trust him can possibly take an all-time hit. But I need y'all to share y'all thoughts really on this one, because for many of the people that have grew up in the Christian environment, or even if you haven't grown up in a Christian environment, you know people that are Christians. You may have family members, friends, co-workers, just people you associate with. You may be familiar with the Christian religion through those avenues, but I need everybody to share your viewpoint on both roles, because I think there were very good points made here from both these individuals. They made the same exact points. They both said that Diddy should be ashamed for even inviting his pastor to a party, because we all know we wouldn't even invite our pastors to certain parties. Yes, certain parties. We ain't talking about a little birthday party, a little cookout where we're behaving. We talking about the parties where we know we're ashamed of asking the pastor to come. So Diddy should be ashamed in that regard. And of course, Bishop T.D. Jakes should definitely be ashamed of putting himself in any environment that he preaches against. So I hope everyone enjoyed the video. You know, it does take time to put into a lot of these projects, so I hope you enjoyed it. Please share the video, share your comments. Make sure you smash the like button. You know this is SmashDaLikeTV, so you gotta smash that like button for me. And make sure you hit the subscribe before you take the next ride. Your brother Be Easy is out of here like Vladimir. Peace.